Hello.
Welcome to
Is
Socially
socially unsocial.
Unsocial. I'm Patty,
And I'm Danielle.
and we're your hosts for the day.
We gonna be rocking and rolling.
Welcome.
So we have a little fun episode planned,
Yes, for once we have a little bit of a plan.
inspired by Instagram Reels.
Shocking. Inspired by social media. What is your favorite thing that you've seen on social media lately? Can you think of one that like just comes to the fore? It can be like a friend's reel or
Oh,
anything.
it was the one of Reel I sent you and a bunch of my sports mom people.
Yeah.
The guy that was singing a song was, about
Green Day.
Yeah.
Set to Green Day, Time of Your Life.
Yeah, basically saying like you missed out on girls' brunches and lunches because you're just at the field all day and night and weekends and you have no life. I just thought it was like, God, that was so good.
Yeah, that was really funny. I actually finally opened it up today. And I was like, wanted to send it to all my sports moms friends. Thank God, though, for friends that you meet, like work besties or the parents of your kids, like sporting teams. Because if you didn't have friends in these mundane situations, it would be a lot harder. So go and thank your fellow sports mom that you have to sit and watch the kids with. I look forward to those. Even like, the games that really don't mean much. I look forward to them because of the people on the sidelines with you. And then at work, you can look forward to work because you get to see so and so. So, yeah,
Yeah,
find the
round
good
of
things.
applause for you sports parents. It is definitely a dedication and a sacrifice.
100%. Sometimes I think about obviously just athletes or celebrities. I'm like the amount of time that these parents have to really put into their children's development. How do you know if your child's gifted? And then you have parents like Justin Bieber's mom. Like, what are you doing? Sending your kid up for all these events and parties and this and that. Was it worth it?
No, you got to do what you got to do.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. My boys have fun. As long as they're having fun on their teams and I can see the joy in their face, that's all that matters to me. I love that. I love that.
That's all we can do is hope and pray that they enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because life gets hard later and you have to do a lot of stuff that you don't want to do.
The gotta do's.
The gotta do's, yeah. And you do more gotta do's than wanna do's.
I know.
It's very sad and depressing. Or when you do and you're just exhausted. I feel like that was me a couple weekends ago, trying to do all my gotta do's with work and stuff like that, and then still trying to fit in the wanna do's. And then, yeah, like
It's a struggle.
pure exhaustion. And I don't even have kids, so God bless America.
I know it is hard to remember. Oh, I was just telling my friends about this. So we were having this discussion and just about places in your life where you kind of feel like there's, I'll be nice and say room for growth, but also just where are you failing in life? Like if you're trying to juggle, all the balls are in the air, what are you letting drop? And there's family, friends, your work, your passion, your hobby, your kids. There's all these things that you've got going on, and you choose which balls you're going to hold, which balls you're going to throw in the air and keep, activating and whatever. And then there's the balls that you are going to drop. And I always think as long as I'm not dropping the really important balls, and forgetting the really important things, then I'm doing okay, and you can continue to balance it all. I don't know how to juggle, so I try, and I don't even get it. Can you juggle?
I can't even tell you maybe a little bit. I feel like I've tried with Gavin to teach him, but I'm not good at it. But I think I can steadily get, three balls.
So if we were
Three balls
if we were in the Matrix and time was slow mode, yes, I can see how juggling works, but we're not in the Matrix. Time doesn't go slow mo.
Yeah, no.
Does Anthony, your brother?
I'm sure. Yeah,
I just feel like that's a thing he would know.
Yeah, he's like a made for circus clown. Like he can do anything for entertainment purposes only. Yeah,
Yes.
metaphorically, I can juggle.
Yes, exactly. So all the things that you're trying to juggle in life, what are you failing at? Where's your room for growth? And I feel like it's funny because between my husband and I, who he has had a full-time job, obviously, I don't. I have part-time stuff. I'm with my kids the majority of the time. So I feel like when he's home, is so present and fun with the kids and doing games and going outside and, doing basketball and all these things. And lately I've been like, wow, he's a really hands-on with the kids, and I'm not as good as how he shows up for them. And then I realized that my youngest is 4 now, so I've been in and out of like the newborn and then toddler and whatever. Now I'm out of it. Like my youngest is 4. So now is the time where I'm like doing some self-reflection, where I think to myself, Mike's goal, like my husband's goal when he gets home from work, is how do I be there for the kids? How do I show up for them? And then I feel like for me, I'm constantly doing things for the kids, planning their doctor's appointments, the band concerts, they're, paying for their hot lunch or making their lunches. And I mean, there's so many moving parts that when I get free time or when I'm with the kid, my biggest struggle throughout the day these days is how do I get myself back? And it's been like a journey of what am I doing for myself? How do I not lose myself in motherhood? How do I maintain friendships? How do I be there as an adult for my mom, for siblings, for friends? And then what do I want? How do I maintain a routine that fuels me? I'm sure a lot of people that are caregivers feel this, whether it's for kids or if you're taking care of an elderly family member or like a dog, like these things that tie you down.
It comes down to consistency. Obviously, that's one of our words we like to use, or I like to use.
You love that word.
But again, the balance. So it's like if you feel like you did everything you needed to do to be the best mom, or what are those 3 things that you think you need to do daily or weekly to show up for your kids in the best light? And if you've accomplished that, then I hate saying this word, but you can reward yourself by getting a babysitter on a Saturday night and going out and being with your friends. Because then again, I know you don't have as much guilt as I have guilt in my world when I just do not do something, or I do something when I should have done something else. But I think that reward system is like just complimenting yourself. Like, okay, I did my best. I did the things that I needed to do. And now it's okay if I don't do those things.
I love this so much because I'm a fitness instructor. And in my classes, I say all the time, you don't have to earn peace. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to work so hard. It's so funny, like the fundamental differences between the way that you are wired to how I'm wired. Maybe it's like a middle child thing versus the oldest. Maybe like
Capricorn versus
Cancer. Yeah, like it's just this thing that's ingrained in us to like, because that would never cross cross my mind to be like, oh, I've done all I need to do. Now I get to reward myself with this. But if that works, for you and for people who's wired like you, absolutely, like go reward yourself. Go treat yourself. I think that's like the never ending quest, is how to feel good about the things that you do in life, but then also get the rest and things that you need without feeling guilty. And then where's the balance? I haven't found it. My balls are all in the air and they're about to all come down, and I'm just trying to figure out, what am I catching first?
Yeah. You're not alone though. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like that.
Yep. Yeah. Never ending struggle. But yeah, it's interesting. So
I had a conversation with my mom the other day about if someone came to you right now and was like, Patty, I'm going to give you the opportunity to start life over. On top of, you are going to be able to take everything that you know, all the knowledge that you've learned in the last X amount of years, and take it back with you and relive your life. Now, do you think and then just a majority, do you think most people would learn from their mistakes, or do you think that they would live their life the same way they lived it?
I mean, we would all hope that knowing what you know now, how would you make the same mistakes? How would you put yourself through X, Y, and Z again? How would you do these certain things again, like the mistakes and all that, because you've learned. So you've learned. I mean, even...
But we say we've learned.
Oh my gosh.
But we really don't, because we are a creature of habit.
Yeah, we're like trained.
Right.
That's sad because, it's funny. I think, oh yeah, of course, if you go back, you could do it differently. Well, how about right now, go forward, and are you doing it differently?
Exactly, and I've said that to so many people when I'm practicing to be my life coach, is like, okay, now pretend you get to start your life all over now. And yeah, mind blown.
I love that because why is there a difference? When you think that you get to go back and rewrite it, what? Oh, you're going to do it different. Well, right here, right now, you feel so locked into the story that you've lived. And there's no rewriting it. There's no changing it. You are the character that you are. You wake up and you do the things that you do. That is crazy to think that we're going to fool ourselves into thinking, oh, if I could go back, yeah, I would have all this knowledge that I get to bring with me. I would do it so differently. What do you think you would do differently, and how do you feel like you can implement that now just moving forward?
Well, it's crazy because I feel like it's between a rock and a hard place if I really think about it, because it's like, well, maybe I wouldn't have gone away to college and I just would have gotten into real estate right away, right? But then I think, all right, but I loved college and going away. I got to meet new people. I got to like develop myself as a person and away from my family, and got to know myself on a different level. And I think maybe if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be half the person that I am today. So it's like a catch-22 when it comes to those things, like the butterfly effect, or what you called it, something else.
Sliding doors.
Sliding doors.
Yeah.
So maybe the only thing it was hard because I think I put a no to children really early in life. And the no, I don't want children. So my mentality, I think, for so many years was envisioning my life without children. And then when I got to a certain age, I was like, oh, maybe children aren't that bad. You know, maybe I could have one or two. And I think because I stuck with that for so long, it really clouded my mind and judgment. And then by the time I figured out maybe it would be a possibility, it wasn't. So I maybe would take that off the table and say I wouldn't have started at the age of 26 saying I don't want children, or whatever age I started at saying that. Again, because I feel like it is like putting things out into the atmosphere. Maybe because I said it so many times, it happened. And whether it's negative or positive, that's the effect of constantly saying something over and over and over again.
Wow, yeah, like the power of what if I didn't hold myself to that? What if my feelings weren't so strong on this? Would things have ended up differently? Could I have done it different?
What would anything come to mind?
Yeah, I've actually been talking a lot lately with a friend of mine. She was my best friend in grade school. And we've worked together. Like, she has a gym, and I briefly was able to have the opportunity to coach with her. And then now we're kind of coming back together and trying to collaborate on things. I think it's been 5 years now. 5 years later. So 5 years has passed since we like reconnected, since, you know, when we were younger. And I keep thinking, like, I love fitness, and I keep thinking how, like, wow, why didn't I start sooner of trying to do my own studio and do my own thing? And all I keep thinking is the amount of things I've learned about myself, about failure, about leadership, the things that I've learned that I hate, the things I've learned that I really like, the things I need more of. You know, there's all these things that if I had gone into it 5 years ago and been like, okay, I'm just going to wing it and do it myself and figure this out, I wouldn't have learned so much. But then also the confidence that I've gained in the past couple of years by working for other people, working with other people, trying my best, doing my best, seeing how it lands with people. Like, there's just so much I learned. So as much as it's crazy how life works, and essentially I'm back to where I was 5 years ago with this longtime old friend of mine, but I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago. And I've gained so much through the failures. So it's like, had I gone back, like, can I take all the failures and all the success with me, you know? And that's where I'm like, you know, it's all about timing.
Right, but that's probably why people would get tripped up today to hit the reset button right now in this moment, or why people would still make the same decisions they did if they had to start all over, because, you know, like, again, if you put your problems in a circle and everyone will pick up their own kind of thing, it's like, okay, well, if you don't think your life's going according to plan, or you don't like the way your life is turning out, but then you look around you and you're like, oh crap, I think I'm doing okay compared to her, compared to him, you know? And so then you kind of like regain this new confidence in yourself, and that you've made the right decisions. And we're not going to make 100% of the right decisions all the time. And we have to learn from our mistakes and our failures. And that's the only way you can grow. the caveat is if you're not learning a lesson in your mistakes or your failures, then that's when there's a problem. I feel like there's a lot of people I know that just keep making the same mistake over and over and over again and getting the same results and just not understanding why do I keep getting the same results.
I know. It's the quick fix, I feel like. It's the quick thing that you're comfortable with that you just keep doing. And then a week later or 3 weeks later, you're back where you don't want to be. And you're like, how did I get here? And it's like, So that kind of leads me into what I wanted to talk about. I saw a reel on Instagram and it said, if your life was a movie, exactly how it is now, like you're the main character, it's just exact, and you're on screen and there's people at home watching, what would those people at home be screaming at you to do? You know, like we all like watch those movies, whether it's a comedy or a thriller or, you know, whatever it is, and you're sitting there getting so angry at the screen being like, you need to do this.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
So if I'm on the couch with my friends and we're watching the movie of Danielle's life, what do you feel like people would be screaming at you to do?
Oh, I wish you would have gave me this prep question before, because I would have asked Jay, like, what do you want to scream at me about most of the time? Because I feel like that would be fun. So I'm going to go home and ask him that too later.
Yes, that'll be like part 2. What would your significant other, best friends, whatever?
Like the dinner conversation tonight might end well, might end bad.
Well, if he's honest,
Yeah.
it could go either way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'd be like, I feel like it's if I'm really thinking about being in a movie. I just explained this to my nephew the other day when we were driving home. He had to go pee, and I couldn't pull over anywhere. There was no gas station. We were in the middle of literally nowhere. So I was trying to tell him, like, half of my life when I'm the weekends and I'm showing 3 buyers different parts of the town in different locations, there are times that I hold my pee for about 2 hours. So I feel like I could just hear the audience screaming, like, just pull over, just go to the bathroom, just pull over. Because I said after a while, I was telling Gavin, I'm like, you don't feel it anymore. The pain goes away. You just don't feel it anymore.
Solid advice. Gavin's definitely going to go to you as his life coach one day. Tell me again. How do I make myself miserable? Don't you get a UTI if you hold your
I'm so surprised, knock on wood. I used to get UTIs all the time and not anymore.
You poor thing. Go to the bathroom.
I know, but sometimes it's just not convenient because you're seeing your house after house. And like my rule of thumb is if your house isn't clean enough for me to pee in it, should have never went on the market. And that happens a lot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, people's houses that can get dicey.
Yeah. Can you think of anything off the cuff?
Like what people would scream
at you?
I've been thinking about this.
Okay, because it doesn't have to think.
I've been thinking about this since I saw it. I thought I sent you this reel because
you didn't, unless I didn't read it or watch it.
I thought it was so cool. Like I could go through like literally everybody in my life, you know, and be like, this is whatever the audience would think, you know. It's a lot easier when you are that like, what is it, the omniscient viewpoint, when you're like a complete outsider, but yet you know everything.
Right.
So you know every single piece of the puzzle. So, because I also feel like, you know, when people think something of you and you're like,
you're just avoiding the question now.
Well,
you're just talking.
Well, no, because it's like when you have a version of reality of yourself. So I'm trying to not have this bias of I am the main character and I know what I want and I'm going to give myself grace. And, you know, we all have all these excuses of why we're not doing the thing that the people at home are screaming at us to do.
Right. But also, too, I feel like, remember we talked about handing out delusion awards? Like, I don't think you're that delusional.
No, I'm very self-aware.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like it should be easy.
I know. I mean, no, it's a struggle. It's always, even when it's always like you have to take yourself outside of yourself. Yeah. I think it depends. Are we talking like my personal family life with my husband? Are we talking, you know, broad? Are we talking in my career? Like, I think that sometimes if people were really looking at me,
I think if you could just take those 3 aspects and go.
And go with it?
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it and just trying to avoid it. Because my next one would be like, okay, I can remember, like, people would be like, fill up your gas tank. Stop driving on empty. Like, they'd be nervous that I'd run out of gas.
Okay, I feel like, yeah, I'm getting a little bit deeper than gas and pee.
I know.
So here's what I feel like. when you start saying that people are going to scream at you, Danielle, this is like a life workshop. I don't care if you hold your pee. I do too. Big whoop. You want an award for keep working through the pain of holding your
Okay,
pee?
that was a comedy. I was working on my. That was the comedy they were watching. That I was the main character.
That's your bit.
Now we'll move to romance.
That's your bit. I love it. It worked. I got a good laugh. No, people would be looking at me screaming, saying, "Stop doubting yourself. You're so annoying. All you do is sit back and say
you'd
that
be
you
that
can't."
whiny character. You'd be like Gray, Meredith Grey on Grey's Anatomy.
Thank you
Everything.
so much for that.
Really, you're saying
I
thank you?
love her.
She's everyone in that is so whiny, and she's so whiny. Oh, what if he doesn't love me? Oh, what if?
Yeah. Yep. Pick me. Choose me. Love me. I fucking love her.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Love her. Cast her as me in my movie. But yeah, I feel like people would just say, you have what it takes. Stop it. Stop letting people push you around. Stop letting other people's opinions dictate what you're doing, because you've got what it takes. Go do it. Go make it happen. So.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'd be like, and they'd be like, Danielle, stop being a bitch. You definitely do not need to say everything that comes to your mind. They don't care about your opinion because they didn't ask for your opinion. So shut up. Why do you think you're so special?
Okay. So like,
I'm the villain.
I don't think that you'd be the villain. Now flip it. Like if what I think people would be screaming at you, I do think that they would say, I think that instead of that, I think that they would change it to be like, stop letting other people's mess ups bring
People don't think like
you
that when they're
down.
watching a movie. You're coming from a philosophical Mel Robbins.
Oh, like you think that they're just like screaming, like angry.
Go back to the last time you're screaming at a TV. They're not being like, oh, I just feel so bad for her. She probably has daddy issues. Like,
I'm
no.
not saying that. I'm saying that I feel like instead of being like, oh, you're such a, blunt brat. Like what I'm trying not to swear because of Jody. It's very hard not to.
I just feel like you're being nice about it. I don't think people would be nice about it. When you're talking behind someone's back.
Well, I don't think that it's a problem that you say your opinion. I think your biggest problem is that how you let it affect you. That like, I feel like because other people's struggles and mess ups truly rock you to your core. And so I think that it's fine. Say your piece.
So then they were probably like, God, you need to get a life. If everybody else's life is affecting you, then you're an empty vessel.
Focus on your own problems, maybe they would say.
Okay, that's okay. More hard.
Or like they'd be like, your life's not that freaking bad. You have an amazing, look at what you've done. Forget about everybody else. Say your piece and then let it go. I think that's your problem. You say your piece and then you still think about it all the time, which is also, high within the low. It's like, that's a good thing about you. It makes you like a caring, person. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I would shout at you like, it's weird that you love music, but you hate concerts. God, you're stupid.
You'd scream, go to Zach Bryan. I almost said Luke Bryan. Guys, there's so much that I would like scream at myself. I'd be like, get off the phone, read a book. Take a bath.
Clean your kitchen.
That's what I would never scream at myself.
I would scream at you.
I did my grout. Leave me alone.
You did the grout. Yeah. I just start small.
You guys, there's so much clutter.
Just clear. Yeah.
But here's the problem.
Declutter the island. Like, how do you can't cook on that island.
Here's my problem. I declutter it once every other day. It is clean as can be. Michael came home from school, so the next day I'm like, doing his lunch, putting his lunch in his backpack, and literally the entire thing is just filled of scrumbled up pieces of paper, dry erase markers, pencils, sharpeners, scissors. Like, I'm like, what is this? And so I had to take it all out. It's literally like on the floor in my kitchen now because I haven't gotten to either throw it away, the clutter that comes home in these children's backpacks.
Oh, really? They get sent home with all this stuff?
Yeah, I guess like he must have like tried to clean out his locker or...
Oh, is he done for the year?
I'm like, what is going on? Where is he off to? He's like, he heard that we're going on spring break. He's like, I'm peacing out. I don't need anything at school. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And then some of the things you can't throw away, like reminders of band concerts or the yearbook or whatever it is. There's just so much stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, I forget the whole kids thing. You
Mm.
compile this stuff.
Oh my God, Mike and I got into it because we were like trying to clean the house over the weekend, and he literally looks at me and he's like, none of this. I was like, yeah, the house is just so cluttered. Like, we need to do this. Let's start one room at a time. He goes, none of this stuff is mine. He's like, it's all you and the kids. And I was like, well, I live here, don't I? Like, obviously a lot of it's going to be mine. But like, he has paperwork and stuff. And then I'm like, you're a guy. Like, I have 15 times the amount of things that you do anyways. So I'm allowed to have my stuff be cluttered.
Well, I think there's a place for things.
Dude, if you want to organize and make a place for things, I organized our kitchen drawer one day because I got these really cute pastel scissors. So I got like purple, pink, and teal scissors, and then I got pencils and pens. Here's one that are like really cute and pastel-y. It matches my shirt. Obviously, it's like
God,
peachy.
you are all Easter.
Yeah, I love it. So I did that, and I had my entire drawer so organized. Like, the next day, these kids are pulling things out. Mike comes in, just throws a scissors. I'm like, you guys, the one nice thing that I had.
Well, and you need to teach them systems. Putting things back where they belong.
I know, I do. I don't have that energy. You know what? That's the ball I'm dropping in life, and I'm totally cool with it.
It was when I was it a year or two ago now? I don't even remember. But I watched Anna's kids while she was away and helped out with the kids. And she's terrible with laundry, right? It would make laundry and folding a lot easier if you teach your children when they take off their clothes, they have to turn
Inside
them.
out it.
Don't turn it inside out.
Or like it's outside in.
Right. Yeah. You know what, you guys know what I'm saying. So that way it makes folding less of a chore.
Yeah.
And she's like, Danielle, do you really think I could tell my kids to do that? I'm like, yes, they're your children. So show them how to do it.
So did you teach them? Did you have a little laundry
Oh,
session
so
while
I
you were
don't
there?
believe in, I try to, but I'm like, I'm not going to sweat the efforts because I can do it and spend 2 days with these kids and they'll do it for 2 days. But then it's the parents that have to keep my tradition going.
Your system's in place.
Exactly.
I love that. I know a few organizers and I like watch their Instagrams and it's like, do you think that those systems like come back in 6 months and see how that held up? Because you have to retrain yourself to do like X, Y, and Z.
Right. But take it small. Start small.
So here's the thing. When I'm doing laundry, I feel like it's hard because the inside of the sock is dirty because your feet were sweating, but the outside of the sock perhaps touched a dirty floor.
Right.
So when you clean socks,
You just pray that the washing machine's getting inside and out while it's cleaning.
no, you do pray. So Mike gets so mad at me when things are inside out. And I'm like, but it's their sweaty body that I want, the germs, whatever. But then it's also the outside. It's like, do we wash twice? Like, you pray, you just do it and get over it.
But
Who
I
cares?
think it's very hard too because you would think it makes sense, right? Too. Also, they say if you clean everything inside out so that the colors don't fade.
Ooh, interesting. But then, like, if you're so I'm very like now that I'm older, I'm very focused on if I'm at a public airport, I get so grossed out, and then I have to, like wash all the clothes because I think before I sit on my bed or sit on my couch, So it really depends on where you are and the germs.
Well,
Ugh.
so do you soap in your washer machine?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
That's fine.
I think so.
Okay. Well, also,
I guess we need to test this theory.
yeah,
Take
there's got to be
two
research done.
shirts. Yeah, we'll Google it.
So my friend Sean has told me that if you take your shirts and you don't even use detergent, that just the like ruffling of the
Washing machine?
that it'll get it clean.
No, the new washing machines, no, especially if you don't have an auger. I can't wait till
What's an auger?
in the
Spatchcock? What are these words?
in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a thing in the middle of
I
your
do.
washer? You
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
Is it a newer washing machine?
Maybe 2 years? You think I don't have a sheets on this. I have no idea when stuff comes into my house. It comes in, it comes
For
out.
a while, when they made the new washing machines, they made them big enough and they removed the auger so people can do bigger loads and bigger
Well,
blankets.
then the
and
clothes
stuff.
isn't getting agitated enough.
Thank you. So then I feel like I have to like scrub some things. So now they must have gotten a lot of complaints. I did not complain, but I should have. But I'm so glad other people
I'm
did.
sure Anna called in.
About laundry. No.
True. She draws the line at last.
But now I think they put them back in. So now it helps get the clothes clean.
Okay, so what do you call that?
An auger?
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 Auger.
Auger.
Augmentation? I don't know.
Or the agitator.
The agitator.
Agitator. Maybe it's the agitator. I don't know why I say auger. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I'm not the only one. I weirdly enough have this conversation. And a lot of people agree with me on that.
Oh God, you know you're getting old when you have a conversation about how clean is your laundry getting. Thank God, this is the first time I'm ever having this conversation.
And hopefully the last.
Is it? Yeah. Oh my God.
Now Patty's rethinking her friendship with me.
No, I'm thinking, would people be screaming at me? Your clothes aren't clean enough. Go fix the auger. Yeah. No.
I feel like people would scream at me, like, slow down. Because I'm constantly like whipping around my house, like grabbing things and then spilling things because I'm moving too fast. You know, like just slow down.
Somebody told me I'm going to let them remain nameless.
Let them.
Yeah, but someone told me the other day, you're just moving so slow. You're just like la-dee-da. You know who you are if you're listening.
Oh, I thought it was Joseph.
No, and I was like, dude, let me go at my own pace. If I want to enjoy, that's the difference between you and I. If I want to enjoy my moment, let me. That's about all I got.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, write to us. Please let us know. We're gonna put a little post up asking everybody what would the audience be screaming at you in the movie of your life. People would be screaming at me, get control of your toddler. He's 4 now. Get control of him. That's what they'd be screaming. And then I would scream back. I would literally jump through the TV and be like, you try it.
You have no idea. I'm trying.
But our saving grace is that, some kids they're just the way that they are. They're very independent. Let's hope, I've seen this on Instagram. Let's hope that he grows up to be like some amazing leader, CEO of a company, and not like the leader of a gang in prison. I saw that once. I was like, yeah, we can only hope.
Right.
For our strong-willed kids. Get them on the straight and narrow.
He'll be fine. He'll grow out of it. Maybe he's just having terrible 4s instead of terrible 2s.
Yeah. Or just continuing on. But I know that I'm not alone because every time that I post about my struggle of the day with Jozilla, that's the days that I get the most DMs. Oh, so I'm like, what misery loves company.
People like to see real life. They don't want to see the perfect pretend family, standing there like a portrait on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So be real. Be honest.
Be real.
Yeah, and let us know. You were saying let us know about...
Yeah, please. For a second, we just forgot we were on a podcast and we were just staring into each other's eyes.
Please message us and tell us what you'd be shouting at yourself if you were watching your life as a movie.
And listen, we know what we would be shouting at you if your life was a movie, so I can't wait to see how self-aware or how delusional you are. And then we will give an award out for whoever's the most self-aware.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited about just...
Yeah. And maybe I would love to give out who's the most delusional, but again, we'll go back to the people screaming at me like, you don't have to say everything that you think.
I love that. We're going to have our own award ceremony.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a part of it, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. We'll invite you. Just buy us a drink. We'll be okay.
Yeah. Just share our link with your friends, and then you'll get in.
Yeah, especially if you have that delusional friend and you're trying to subtly let them know, like, hello, you can be a little bit more self-aware and it would be super great.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I heard this really great little workshop for us.
Oh, guys, well, it's been fun. An announcement. We are going to take a little hiatus for a week.
Mm-hmm. Go enjoy your life. Enjoy the weather.
Enjoy spring break for all you people having some spring break fun. We're going to take some time and then we're going to come back and it'll be season 2.
Woo, look at us.
In the meantime, we're going to keep being us so you can keep being you.
Bye.